How's it going, everybody? This is Rob Novakast back with another video for you guys, and we'll be doing another episode review of The Boys, Season 1, Episode 6. And I guess to kind of cliff note it, we have Vaught, who is trying to create, I guess, the Phayn commercials for the Seven to try to create this image that they're, all American, wholesome, this and that, and so on. They do have a few hiccups. One with Homelander, who is not particularly happy with some of the things. And we kind of get an idea of his, if anything, his background, like to an extent that he may have been, again, I think as it was kind of set up, kind of produced in a lab. Whereas like Starlight, especially with what she mentioned in a speech in the last video, there are concerns about her in the public. The boss lady is not particularly happy, and to an extent is not happy with Starlight kind of being defiant in that sense of, wanting to be her own person and not having to kind of kiss the corporate's ass, or if anything, kiss the public's ass of what they want her to be portrayed as. And to an extent, they also denounce the Deep for his mistake. Actually, not even a mistake. What he did that was obviously wrong. So, to an extent, there's that. We have also Butcher, who is kind of noticing that Huey is kind of showing affections for Starlight, and to a great degree is trying to push the idea that all supers are bad, but Huey is kind of against that, seeing that there is actually some good in Starlight, good in Starlight. And going further, Frenchie, Eminem are trying to uncover the past of the woman that they rescued, and to an extent they bring in the help of a psychic super that used to be part of the Seven in order to try to figure out where she comes from. It turns out we do get a clear idea of where she comes from, more so with the fact that not only was she taken as a child to work as a terrorist, but furthermore was captured to be experimented on when it comes down to Compound V. So it's basically just a really terrible situation. So to an extent, they do find out a little bit about her backstory and realize that the people of Vought are possibly creating supervillains to become a potential threat that would therefore cause action or cause Congress or politics to take into effect where supers would be brought into war. So to a degree, there is clearly something going on. And to make matters worse, the psychic that they, in some sense, asked for help goes to Homelander about the situation and gives him information about the girl. So to an extent, it is a terrible situation. But all in all, it's a shitty situation. Actually, to add to that, as well as going back to the whole thing with Butcher trying to convince Huey that all supers are bad, Butcher kind of catches Huey, with Starlight, and nonchalantly mentions the fact, or kind of reminds Huey that he was the one that killed Translucent. And to an extent, that kind of gives Huey the idea that, especially in this situation, Butcher may end up just telling Starlight about that whole situation. So, to a degree, it's not looking good. But, all in all, what is looking good, though, is that I'm going to continue watching the show. Because, honestly, there were some comedic moments of this. There were some moments where I kind of felt more motivated or interested in some of these characters. For instance, we've been seeing a little bit of, I want to say, humility and guilt from the character Queen Maeve, who to an extent is very distraught after what happened with the plane crash. And to an extent we see, I guess, a past relationship wanting to be supportive or trying to help out the best way she can, and Queen Maeve kind of not taking part, or if anything, kind of keeping her out of it. As well as A-Train, to an extent, kind of being slapped in the face with the fact that he killed his ex-girlfriend. So, to a degree, I'm looking forward to seeing more of this show and to see what comes out of it. But for now, though, I think I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Truly appreciate it. If you guys can, please leave a like, comment, share, subscribe, all the good stuff. If you guys want to follow us on social media, links are in the description down below, as well as check out our daily content and the weekly podcast. With that being said, this is Rob Novakast signing off. Have a good one. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.